Hey, what's up you guys? This is Eric with OzoneTCG. Today we're taking a look at some Dragon Link Adventure replays. First match will be versus an Adventure Phantom Knight deck. Second will be kind of a mirror. I don't think we're playing the exact same builds, but pretty much close enough. Before we get into the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to, take a look at our TCG Player shop and use our TCG Player affiliate link in the description if you're thinking of buying anything from TCG Player, or specifically buying, Phantom Knight Adventure or Dragon Link Adventure. The NAWCQ is coming up, so make sure you have your cards at least 2 weeks in advance. So that'll be the end of this week. Make sure you guys are getting those cards beforehand so you're not missing out. You don't have to pay ridiculous vendor prices. Let's get on into the video. Alrighty, so game one, pretty strong opening. Red player is going first, friend of the channel. Let's see. They are going to... I would go Water Enchantress first, probably. And then Chaos Space, it's fine. Blue player does have Ash. Okay, they are going to use Ash on that. And then Illusion of Chaos is definitely going to resolve. You can pitch... Yeah, you can pitch Chaos Space for Magician Souls. And you still can banish Illusion of Chaos to combo. I think that's the play here. You can also go Wyver Burster first. And probably do that, yeah. Get that and get Boot Sector launches to draw through some of the cards you don't want to search later on. Chaos Space. Oh, drew Draco back. Unfortunate. Alrighty. Recharger. Okay, Romulus. Dragon Ravine. Yep. Tracer. Axis Tracer. Perfect. Alrighty. Yep. Pisty LP combo. Borland. Crazy that Borland doesn't require specifically dragons at all. Not sure why they didn't make it include anything like that, but yeah, I don't think there's a way for this guy to play through. Even just Borland. Borland Ash Nibiru is probably going to be it versus a Phantom Knight deck. I know this is the Phantom Knight Punk deck. Kind of hard to play through it, honestly. Let's see what he does. That's Ash. Yeah, so because Griffin, you want to keep the Nibiru because he knows that we have Nibiru. I know this guy's playing slow, the blue player. I'm not really sure why he was, but Baron to floor. Oh, he's going to have to use Nibiru later, even though it'll trade. He'll lose the Nibiru from the hand, but he does trade the negation for turn 2, which does matter. Okay, Fogblade. So Fogblade and one unknown. I would assume it's impermanence if I were in this situation. I think that's the assumption here. Okay. So right here, you definitely still, like I said, you still activate Nibiru. It's unknown if he has anything else, so he's just checking the graveyard. Let's see. So you have Chaos Ruler follow up as well, so Baron getting negated, or negating Nibiru does let you play at least another monster. You do get Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. Boot Sector is going to probably revive Rocket Synchron. Yep. Oh, Red Rose Dragon, insane draw for the turn, wow. And then you have Water Enchantress as well. Alright, there's Chaos Ruler. Yep. There, everything. Wow, and he has still Fateful and Griffin in the deck. So this is a correct play just to bait out Impermanence. Or Fogblade, depending on which. And then, okay, can't see. Yep. Fateful. Attack position. And then Draco back just stopping so many floodgates and negations. The Fiendish Shane in 2022 is not good, unfortunately. Permanence actually would have been way better here, despite the fact that Hot Red Dragon Archfiend is on the field. So he's going to bounce the middle one. He's probably going to chain it anyway, since we know that it's the wing, but the opponent, the red player, does not. Yeah, so there it is, wing. Yep, and combo from there. Draco back will be in the graveyard. And just to play through everything here. Big chain links, Rose chain link 1, Shooting Razor chain link 2, probably Foolish, Snow I would guess. So, yep, Snow, Rocks, Rose combos. You can't really negate anything here. You could go for Baron as well, that is possible, but I think you're just going to go for the kill straight up. But your Baron can't attack over, nothing can attack over the opponent's Baron to floor, because it is at 3,500 attack. So you're just going to go for Access Code twice, and then Access Code won't be Fog Bladed. Alright, Dragon Archfiend is going to negate it on resolution. So that's not going to be a problem whatsoever. Interesting targeting effects now on Dueling Book. So, and then that'll be 85 right there. So that will be game 1 as soon as blue player realizes it. There we go. Game 2. Alrighty. And I think this is the game where there's like an interesting replay that happens. Interesting tech that the Phantom Knights player plays. Go ahead and see. So Phantom Knights, of course, going first. I'm not sure why he kept in all the hand traps. Maybe he didn't side anything. He didn't have anything to side. I'm not sure. But he does have Ash, Valor, and Burial, which is big. Just gonna normal summon Boots. I think he's gonna search Water Enchantress here to go Karugani, to go Torn Scales. So we'll see that in just a second. Yep, right there, but does not care about any hand traps, which is kind of crazy, because something like Nibiru would just end the turn. He's not gonna end on any real negations here. Don't see why he played so haphazardly. I guess he thought it was just better than ending on, I don't know, Shooting Riser, something else, I'm not sure. Because even a single hand trap would have at least, like, I don't know, Ash or Valor on there would have just stopped the turn, honestly. Valor especially, just actually could not do anything, which is kind of crazy, just so haphazard. So, Water Enchantress, yep, first card, which I think is correct. I don't know what the reason for not playing into this is. Let's see. Okay, Ash. Yeah, so really it's the Break Sword that's going to be the difference. Because he's going to chain Ophion, or could chain Magic Launch for Ophion, and unfortunately that is the game, just because you can't summon the driver, so you can't negate. Kind of sucks here. Has summoned both driver and Gamma, but that's fine. Game 3, really weird opening for red player. Blue player opens Impermanent Nibiru, which theoretically should just be an FDK. They do not play it correctly here, though. We'll see as we're playing through here. Okay. Why Everburster? Into Striker Dragon. Good chain links. Fibrax, okay, yep. This doesn't play around Impermanent Nibiru very well, which is fine, but it's kind of the only good route, I'd say. And he should have impermed Fibrax here because there was nothing else the red player could have gone into to do anything. Didn't play any extra tech cards, so no reason to really do that. Or really not to activate the imperm. So he's going to go ahead and optimally play with Chaos Space to draw one. I think he draws Draco back. Oh no, cross out, okay. Shooting Riser, yep. Goes there, okay, yep, good. You can go the LP triple burst. Theoretically should be right here, but does not for some reason. Yeah, not really sure why. Or Nibiru on resolution here. Yeah, kind of weird. So you should Nibiru here for sure. That there's no reason not to, because then you just end the turn. guess the idea is that you don't want to have to play around something. I'm not actually sure the reason why you wouldn't just Nibiru there. It doesn't matter in this specific game, but theoretically, it would have been better just Nibiru all the monsters before establishing some kind of negate. Just getting to snow is actually going to be relevant. It's actually really hard to play around with Phantom Knights, but again, not sure what the thought process of holding Nibiru Imper is. So at this point, I think he's going to discard, cross out. So if I were the blue player, I would immediately assume that there's another cross out. Now that I've seen cross out that there's another one, there's no reason to pitch that and think, hey, he doesn't have anything else, there's no reason to play through it. I can understand the argument that, well, he didn't have anything up until now, there's no reason to worry about any kind of hand traps, but I just don't think it's the correct play. Feel like if you're being greedy at this point because of Magician's Souls, then you probably have enough set up already. So I would go ahead and let Imperm Nibiru do the work, but knowing that he probably has something for Nibiru, it's a different story. Drew the Draco back second time in this match. It's kind of crazy. Gonna go, let's see, what can you do at this point? Okay, Summon Tracer, Quadroll, okay. It's a good line. And then you still get Savage from here. Yeah, so he's gonna try and Imperm Nibiru here. Or at least Nibiru. Yeah, the Savage has been out for 3.5 years. It does not target. The first effect, neither effect really targets, but the first effect specifically does not target a Link monster. You can just choose any of your Link monsters in the graveyard. And then Nibiru, I think the opponent's going to wait for like a full minute to chain Imperm, and that's just like not correct. Like, specifically in the context of something like NAWCQ, you don't let your opponent take a full minute of the game debating on one of their only other hand trap. That would be slow play, 100% here, especially because of how quickly the red player is going through their combos while still allowing the opponent to have responses or anything. A full minute, I think it was like 1 minute and 7 seconds here by the logs. There was absolutely no reason why the opponent should have taken a minute. Yeah, you can see, 42-18. And then, let's see, scrolling down. 43-24. So 1 minute and 6 seconds it took for the opponent to activate Imperm. That's not okay. You need to call a judge on that. On your opponent, if this happens to you, call a judge, say if they're slow playing, they took a full minute to activate a single hand trap while you've been going through your whole combo in not even a couple minutes. Make sure that happens. That's going to come up. Especially because time rules now are at 40 minutes. Just make sure you're playing through quickly and don't be the blue player taking too long to do your basic plays. There's no reason why it should have taken so long for that to even happen. So yeah, you guys just have to make sure you're playing quickly. Again, we're accustomed to 45 to 50 minute rounds for the past almost 3 years. We'll say past 2 years at least. With remote duels and remote YCSs, but it's 40 minutes for the NAWCQ. You guys gotta make sure you're playing quickly, and if you don't have anything, your deck, say you're playing Salmon Great versus a combo deck, you can't play through anything. You gotta make sure that you just scoop at that point. Chances are likely, unless you play some off, Dark Ruler in the main that can play through that board, you absolutely need to be playing quickly. It's definitely not okay to commit a full minute to a single hand trap when it's the only interaction. That's the only point of interaction the entire turn you've had. But yeah. So the Borreload Savage shouldn't have a counter, but I think that's just maybe a visual glitch, I think. And so blue player, I think this is actually the fourth summon, but I'm not sure. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Should have waited. I don't think that was. Yeah, it looks like that was, the red player did not wait until the fifth summon, but I don't think it actually changes anything. He just would have gone into Karub and it would have been the exact same scenario. I don't think this guy plays Link Spider either, so it wouldn't have actually mattered. That's the only real misplay I see from red player here. Should have waited. Let's see. Yeah. And that happens. And make sure you guys are keeping track of that too. And this is actually going to be game here because of that foolish getting Water Enchantress and Snow just being able to keep using itself. I don't think red player plays IP Masquerena, though I think it is correct to play that card. That would come up here, actually, with the Nibiru and Snow being able to link into everything. It's just going to be access code for game, basically, though. So Dracoback's going to bounce the Fog Blade. Because it's fucked. Unfortunately, Fiendish Chain in 2022 does not. It just doesn't do anything, unfortunately. I wish that card were better, but it's not good anymore. Snow. Yeah. And then, of course, Nibiru tributes face-up monsters only, doesn't tribute face-down monsters, so the Griffin does stay there. So, and then he's going to go Hip Tracer, I think. Oh, he still has Chaos Ruler. That's crazy. Wow. Snow, attack position, and this is just going to be double access code destroying 2 cards, attacking directly, and the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend doesn't even matter either. So access code, destroy 2, and that'll be the game. So I think blue players are going to see that in a second. Again, make sure you're counting the number of monsters summoned. It's not number of summons, it's number of monsters summoned, which actually does make a difference, because again, you can pen summon 5, and then you can use Nibiru. Even though it's only 1 summon. Say that there's no normal summon or anything. So, counting summons, kind of a misnomer here, but make sure you're counting them or monster summoned properly and making sure that you don't slow play. Those are the 2 things. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second match. It's going to be kind of the mirror. Let's go ahead and see how that works. So this next replay, red player is going to go first. Doesn't open well. I know he does play Illegal Knight, which could bridge into White Dragon Wyvern Burster because of Chaos Space, but I just don't think that's good enough. Could go into like Shooting Riser, Fireback. So technically there is a play, but it's just not great, so he's just going to set 1 pass. Unfortunately, this is not very good, obviously. The Ash, Call by the Grave, is just not going to do anything versus the Mirror, really. No, he's just going to bounce since he opened up Fateful. And this is a good point, though, is that you just scoop at that point. And that's okay, because there's a chance now your opponent doesn't have any information. There's no reason to give them any more information than they need to. Kind of weird. Hand going first again. I don't think he's going to chain Gamma here, but I would be confident that Quick Launch, Griffin, and Fateful, plus Rite of Aramesir, is going to do enough, as well as the Droll and Lockbird. So again, you should only take like a minute at that point if you just know you're going to lose anyway. There's no coming back from that because you just get OTK'd anyway. Yep. Right, Chain Griffin, which is fine. It's protect against Ash. If you want to have it on the field, I don't think it's necessary to go Griffin there, but it's fine. And then Quick Launch. Fateful. Okay. He can go Water Enchantress here, but he is going to go Fibrax instead. So Fibrax will get a Red Rose Dragon that'll go into Buried to Floor, and then get Rox Rose and Basil Shoot from there. And so you want to avoid any of the zones that Fibrax points to with when you summon Shooting Rise and its effect in case it gets negated for whatever reason. I don't think they're going to negate Riser too often, but just in case they do. This was a point of contention, actually, looking back at the replay. You could make the case that it's better to save Striker Dragon after you've already resolved Quick Launch, but I think that I don't value Striker Dragon nearly as much as maybe some other people do. because I'd rather just have the boot sector launch. I'd be able to just draw into other gas cards because I already have a full setup for follow-up next turn. So even if they were to remove my entire board, I would still have Fateful, which would get me either another token. I still have Draco back, which bounces something at the very least, and then Boot Sector can also revive before I even go into the Fateful Water and transfer right into Aramesir. I just don't value the Striker Dragon as much. I don't think it's like necessary to keep in the extra deck. Kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And then the Baron, the reason why red player didn't use that, it was literally just so it's live on the opponent's turn, which actually does make a difference here because they have the quick launch in hand. They're going to use that later. And that, it'll be enough. So I think if I were in red player's mind, I would say Baron and Savage are going to be enough to just win you the game on their own, even through that, especially under Droll, because it's going to be really hard for the opponent, the blue player, to really break through the board without searching a bunch of cards, especially because they opened up Black Dragon. Now, they don't have a light target currently, but in case they did, you know, then that's a different story. But even still, just having the two negates, one hard negate, and Droll is probably going to be enough, as well as the follow-up. That's the case that I would make. And you don't ever want to draw a Boot Sector launch when you can just search it anyway for follow-up. So I think overall that was the correct play. Black Metal? Okay. If I were this player, I would have gone, I think I would go directly into Romulus, which I think he does. Let's see what he does. So Snow and Graveyard, probably best play would have been to book that, but I think it's fine. No real reason to go into Striker Dragon, but negating the black metal actually does matter because preventing the opponent from summoning Red Eyes Darkness Metal to attack over your monsters actually does make a difference. So I probably would have gone Chainlink 1 black metal and then Chainlink 2 Striker Dragon. That probably would have been the better tactical play to do, just to attack over the Baron. So if they were going to negate Baron, or excuse me, negate Striker Dragon Search, they would just be able to attack over it anyway. So it doesn't summon the Pissy to the zone. That wasn't caught by the red player, which that's just straight up not how the Charmers work. Definitely should have summoned it to a zone. Dark points too, so he couldn't use the effect. That would have just been an incorrect play. He does have the extension in quick launch, but that would just be negated, and can't really summon anything but like Striker, or excuse me, Triple Burst Dragon. Really nothing else he could have done at that point. But that was just a straight up illegal play, which did change the game state, but that's actually fine. It doesn't make a difference on red players, and they're still going to end up on top. But make sure you guys are reading the cards, because sometimes it's difficult to remember what every single card does every single time in every single scenario, especially during the NAWCQ. Things will happen. Just call it judge if you guys are ever unsure of what a card does or how it interacts while you're committing to the play. Alrighty, blue player is going to go first. Imperm. Oh, the token collector is going to be really strong here, actually. Good to have drawn that card. More consistent, though, in the red player's deck. Blue player has a 50 card count. So destroy that. Yeah. Probably would have been okay to chain Illegal Knight here. Just testing this out, I think. The red player was testing out Illegal Knight. But chaining Illegal Knight to Token Collector probably would have been the better play, so at least you have the potential of Baron while normal summoning Red Rose. And it actually does come up in that they have Imperm and are going to have, I think, Savage as a negate. So it's something, yeah, and Striker Dragon, again, doesn't really matter because you just don't want to draw Boot Sector launch after your... You don't want to draw it at all just because your Striker Dragon can search it, and I just don't think it's good enough to keep Striker Dragon the extra. So Chaos Ruler, let's see what this card gets. I don't think it's actually going to get anything here. Double Chaos Space. Oh, Red Eyes Darkness Metal. That's pretty good. I don't know how much more it'll matter. We can see. Definitely the correct play here, I think, is to destroy. Feels like Chaos Ruler. Even though you can't get anything, you can't summon it that turn. You don't really need it. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to destroy Fateful, but I think they're going to go for Fateful anyway. Let's go ahead and see. Maybe you go for Romulus here. Pitch. No, I wouldn't even pitch something there. at least get Dragon Ravine, and then summon something from there. And you can send back. Yeah, so you can go Romulus, add Ravine, unless it gets negated by Valor, and banish Romulus for Red Eyes Darkness Metal, revive Rocket Tracer, and Rocket Tracer can destroy Red Eyes Darkness Metal. I think that's probably the better play, because at least you have something, then you keep your Fateful for next turn, and you also have Boot Sector launch in the hand. Let's see, so I know Boot Sector activated, it is a glitch on Dueling Book right now. Not sure what else they would need. Let's see. Okay, so then he's gonna... Okay, so he's gonna summon Romulus. And Romulus gets negated by Valor. Yep, Synchronized Darkness Metal. Chaos Space. Chaos Space can't target Romulus. They realize that. And Red Eyes Darkness Metal, of course, doesn't target. Rocket Tracer. I think he destroys, Fateful. I don't agree with that here. I know he has Water Enchantress in the graveyard, but he didn't grab Draco back, or potentially Legal Knight if he plays it, which I don't think he does, but the Draco back actually does matter for removing some cards in the next turn. And Savage, I don't see a reason to really summon an attack, but it's probably fine anyway. And then this is, again, the case to summon Legal Knight, chain that to Token Collector, just so you could normal summon Red Rose, get Baron, and then you would have had to negate something. So, there, okay, Snow, Rocks Rose, yeah, I don't see a reason to stop any of this. Get Basil. Good play. Stop Slash. So good. Probably Romulus. Yep. There it is. Basil. And this is going to go into Nightmare Unicorn. And Unicorn can pitch Water Enchantress, which just wins the game, honestly. From there, you can just do whatever you want. Yeah, so Illegal didn't even come up at that point. It will once you get Water Enchantress's effect off, though. Oops, Savage is going to negate, because you lose the monster. You at least keep the body. Or you lose the monster effect, keep the body. There we go. And Water Enchantress goes here. Honestly, if I were the blue player, I would just scoop. There's no reason to play this out, because then Legal Knight activates, triggers Fateful. Fateful will grab Griffin, discard Draco back, bounce, and then access code destroy. Theoretically, you don't even need access code. You just do whatever you want, honestly. Could even use a Legal Knight's effect. Bounce 2, bounce it back, and then it wouldn't kill, because it would be 62 total. But theoretically you could. Yep. Just go into X code from there. So that is the second match. So good plays from the red player. Get in front of the channel. If you guys want to pick up any cards, make sure you guys are getting your cards, again, at least 2 weeks before the NAWCQ, at least ordering them, because turnaround times for the post office, at least in the United States, are still high. If you guys have any comments or questions, feel free to leave it in the description, and thank you as always for watching.